Over 25 centuries ago, the first light of dawn touched the vast lands of Anshan and Pars. Golden rays crept slowly across the mountains, washing over endless plains still veiled in morning mist. The desert winds whispered softly through the grass, and shadows fled before the rising sun. For a moment, the world stood silent, as if the earth itself was holding its breath. And with that sunrise, a new chapter in human history began to unfold. The air was still, the world unaware that an empire, one that would shape civilization, was waiting to be born. Before Persia rose, the world belonged to ancient powers. In the north, the Medes ruled with pride and iron. To the west, the mighty Babylonian walls guarded their treasures and their gods. Beyond the sea, the Lydians basked in gold and glory. Kings spoke, armies marched, temples rose. And in their shadows, smaller nations were forgotten. Yet deep within the rugged heart of Pars, in lands harsh but filled with spirit, a people lived in quiet endurance. They farmed, they prayed, they fought for survival. And among them, unseen by any king, a spark of destiny waited, patient, silent, inevitable, ready to ignite the flame that would change the world forever. In a simple clay house beneath the mountains of Anshan, a cry broke the stillness of night. A child had been born, Cyrus, son of Cambyses, heir to the ancient Achaemenid line. The night was calm, the stars hung high and cold, and no one knew what had just begun. There were no trumpets, no banners, no royal halls. Only the sound of a newborn's breath against the desert wind. But in that fragile life burned a spark of destiny. Fate had already chosen its champion. No one could have imagined that this small child, born in silence and shadow, would one day stand as the father of an empire. Far to the north, in the shining palace of Ecbatana, King Astyages of Media slept uneasily. Dreams tormented his mind. He saw from his daughter's womb a great vine spreading across the earth, its branches twisting over mountains, rivers, and cities, its leaves blotting out the sun. He awoke in terror, heart pounding like war drums. The Magi were summoned, their faces pale in the firelight. They spoke softly, fearful of their own words. Your grandson, O king, will one day overthrow you. The chamber fell into silence. And in that silence, fear took root deep within the king's heart. From that night on, he trusted no dream, no blood, no fate but his own. Determined to defy prophecy, Astyages gave a cruel command. The newborn, his own flesh and blood, must die before the morning sun. Under a cold and pitiless sky, soldiers carried the crying infant through a forest of shadows. Their torches flickered in the wind. Every step echoed like guilt across the frozen ground. The flames hissed, the leaves trembled, the child wept. But destiny had other plans. A loyal servant, unable to kill the innocent, placed the child into the arms of a humble shepherd and his wife. They looked upon the boy and felt the weight of heaven in his eyes. Under the vast Persian sky, they raised him as their own. Seasons passed. The child grew strong. His laughter carried across the valleys, his courage shaped by hardship. The mountains became his guardians. The wind whispered his name, and the eagles circling high above seemed to watch over him. Among shepherds and farmers, Cyrus learned the value of mercy, the meaning of loyalty, and the power of vision, the very virtues that would one day shape a ruler of men. Years passed. The boy of destiny became a man of purpose. He spoke with the wisdom of age and the fire of youth. Those who met him felt something greater, a sense that the gods themselves had touched his spirit. He trained his body, sharpened his mind, and carried within him a quiet strength that others could not explain. The whispers of fate grew louder. The land itself seemed to wait for him. Soon, across the mountains and the deserts, a call would rise. The call of rebellion. And with it, the story of an empire would truly begin.